Welcome back to the news.
Opposition leader of the Colombo Municipal Council and former Minister Mohammad Maharouf passed away this morning. He had passed away while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Colombo. The final rites of Mohammad Maharouf were performed this evening.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa paid his last respects to the late Mohammad Maharouf today. A hospital spokesperson said that Mohammad Maharouf had passed away at about 9:30 this morning. He was 56 years old at the time of his death. Maharouf was first elected to the Colombo Municipal Council in 1982. In 1995, he rose to the position of deputy mayor. In 2002, he functioned as the Minister of Public Utilities. Mohammad Maharouf, who was born in Grand Pass, Colombo, was a product of St. Benedict's College, Kotahena.
The budget heads of the Ministry of Water Supply, the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resource Management were taken up for debate in Parliament today. Here are some of the views that were expressed during the debate.
Dear Minister, I need to ask you where the farmer societies are. They have become politicized. This is not a criticism. I was strict about the management of water. I gave farmer societies responsibilities. There were rains. If we manage this water, then not only the Kalababa, we could have saved this rainwater and used about 80% of it to cultivate. But there is no proper management. Since water from the Irnamadu tank is being taken to Jaffna, we feel that a dispute might arise between Jaffna and Kilnochi in the future. Due to this, the people of Kilnochi are facing serious issues. The Elephant Pass water project can be used as a solution to the water crisis in Jaffna. This can also be rectified by renovating the Sundikulam tank.
He talked about the Irnamadu scheme. There are no any fear, no any damage to the Kilnochi people taken from the Irnamadu water to the Jaffna, because now we are going to allocate the more than 20,000 million. We are going to uplift the tank more than 5 feet. Then that is the excess water only we are going to supply to the drinking water to the Jaffna people. Same project we already done in the Unniche, Eastern Province. We already uplift the 5 feet Unniche tank, and we are supplying the 300,000 people drinking water in Batikalo district. There are no any harmful for the Unniche farmers.
They created the Moragakanda water project, but there is no water in it. Then they built the Kaluganga project, and there is no water there as well. Then they bring the water from Randanigala to the Kaluganga. The water being brought to Randanigala was diverted to the Umaaya. You should provide an explanation to this. The USA agreed to provide funds through the Millennium Fund to construct the Moragakanda project, but after the feasibility study, they abandoned it. Kuwait decided to fund it, but they too withdrew after the feasibility study. Now they have struck a deal with the Chinese government. Please disclose the deal that was reached along with the interest rates to Parliament, because you are dealing with public funds. Moragakanda commenced with funds from the government. We are glad that we received $252 million from China. We cannot state that tanks run dry during times of drought like Anuruddha Sanayaka says. We also need to provide water to people in Vaunia and such areas through the Yan Oya. We commenced it with local funds. Along with the Yan Oya project, we will also consider the Greater Mahavali plan as well.
Still in news from the Parliament, UNP Deputy Leader Sajid Premadasa questioned the usage of fingerprint scanners to mark the attendance of hospital staff. Deputy Minister of Health Lalit Disanayak responded to the query.
236 fingerprint scanners were ordered. However, only 8 have been set up. 236 scanners have been purchased using public funds and state money, but only 8 have been installed, and the country is suffering a loss because of this. Isn't it better to spend money to ease the shortage of drugs rather than spending it on unwanted items like fingerprint scanners? 14 billion has been set aside for free health through this budget. This decision was based on a management policy. If the people who are in this service take steps to use this equipment, then it won't be a waste.
In other local news now, UMP parliamentarian Ravi Kannanaika says that the priority should be to serve the people and not gain power of the provincial councils. The parliamentarian made this statement during a function held in the Batiklo area yesterday.
What we want to do is develop this small country and move forward. The United National Party is a party where the Sinhalese, Muslims, Tamils, Burghers and Malays could live as one. The people have been left helpless today. This is why we are taking this opportunity to go to the provincial areas and see whether the government is fulfilling its promises. Power generation at the Lakvijaya power plant in Putlam has been halted once again. The vice chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board, Andhra Vijaypal, stated that this step has been taken in order to carry out maintenance work.
The Lakvijaya power plant in Putlam, which is the first coal power plant in the country, was constructed by a Chinese company at a cost of $455 million. The plant adds 300 megawatts to the national grid. Due to the drought experienced in the past few months, hydropower generation was limited to 13%, and it was the power plant that was mainly used to generate shortfall. The CEB says it has decided to shut down the plant for maintenance as 58% of the national power requirement is now being provided by the hydropower plants following the recent rains. They have been requesting to carry out this maintenance work for some time. We couldn't release the machines because there was no water during the past few months. Since our reservoirs currently hold adequate water and because we will need this plant during the drought in February-March next year, we decided that it is best to carry out the maintenance work now. Accordingly, we released it on the 23rd of last month. We hope to reconnect it to the national grid on the 25th of December. The Norchole power plant, which is connected to the national grid on the 22nd of February 2011, was shut down on no less than 7 occasions in the past 1 year and 10 months.
Make your choice now.
Ranil Wickremesinghe, who preaches about democracy to us, showed the whole country how he conducts elections. We saw Ranil Wickremesinghe wearing a pair of sunglasses and looking like Sando, issuing orders saying, stand up, sit down, go to sleep. One side has a majority while the other has a minority. But the question is, who counted?
Vote now for your favorite cut of the day. Log on to www.newsfirst.lk or SMS to BEST space your choice and send it to 7788. For the best cut of the day, watch News First on Sirasa TV at 10 tonight.
Jagat Vijayveera assumed duties today as the new Director General of the Sri Lanka Customs Department at its office located in Colombo Fort.
Jagat Vijayveera, who received his primary education from Ashoka Vidyalaya in Perimiyankulama, later studied at the Nivattaka Chetiya Mahavidyalaya in Anuradhapura. Vijayveera, who then entered the University of Kelaniya, is an arts graduate. Vijayveera is a double PhD holder in economics and international relations. Vijayveera, who has previously held several high-ranking posts in the government, served as the Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Defence and as Commissioner of the Registration of Persons Department.
You're watching Primetime News. Up next is Action TV.
If not for far-thinking farmers like Prema Vardhana of Danture, who recognized the importance of conservation long before concepts like sustainable development were introduced, then numerous plant and seed varieties endemic to the country could have been lost. In 1960, the Department of Archaeology, together with the University of Peradeniya, laid the foundation for a proper conservation system instead of the disorganized conservation system of farmers keeping traditional plants and seeds with themselves. As a result of farmers like Prema Vardhana back then, by 1967, 2,000 varieties of seed paddy had been collected. A stock of traditional crop seeds, including these seed paddy varieties, was sent to Paribai 6 refrigeration units at the Philippine International Paddy Research Institute, as the refrigeration facility was unavailable in Sri Lanka at the time. In order to meet this requirement, the government arrived at a memorandum of understanding with the Japan International Cooperation Agency, or JICA, in 1988. As a result of this agreement, the Plant Genetic Resource Centre in Gannorua was declared open in 1990. JICA continues to provide technical support for the operation of this centre. Over 16,500 seed varieties of traditional crops have been conserved as of now at this centre. 4,500 of these are traditional seed paddy varieties. Distributing these seeds conserved in refrigeration units among farmers and planting them in the field is also a part of conservation. Farmers like Prema Odana have been given the opportunity to cooperate and work with the Plant and Genetic Resource Centre because of this conservation program.
There
is a large variety of seeds belonging to us. We have preserved them. It would be much more beneficial if we refrain from exporting them and give them to the local farmers. If we love our country, this is what we should do.
And on to sports news. Preliminary investigations are to commence tomorrow regarding the Sri Lankan athlete who failed a doping test. Minister of Sports Mahindananda Alutgamage told Sports First that the athlete who competed at the 90th National Games while using banned substances.
Moving on to some football news now. Sri Lanka was unable to win the first match of the Under-23 South Asian Football Tournament for the President Mahinda Rajapaksa Trophy today. The tournament was declared open by President Mahinda Rajapaksa at the Jayatilaka grounds in Navalapitiya.
Bangladesh, Pakistan and Maldives are among the other competitors of the tournament. This is incidentally the first occasion an international football match is being played out of Colombo. Sri Lanka faced Maldives in the tournament opener today. At the end of the first half, Maldives led the game 1-0. Maldives, who went on to score 2 more goals in the second half, comfortably won the match 3-0. Meanwhile, Pakistan won the second game of the day against Bangladesh 1-0. The tournament is organised by the Football Association of Sri Lanka in collaboration with the Sports Ministry.
And on that note, we wrap up today's edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Punshani Edarisinghe.
And I'm Ravi Gamge.
Good night.